Vibe check, check vibe, check the vibe.
What's the vibe like?
What is good? We're back at it, brethren. Corona vibes.
Coronavirus?
You have a red shirt on right now?
I do. Oh, there
I
we
got,
go. Yeah.
I got a red shirt on.
Some things never change.
We should be, based on my pretty simple kind of calculations, we should be about 12-2 right now. Cincinnati Reds.
Off to a racing start.
Yeah.
Cover Sports Illustrated. Reds are red hot in the NL Central.
Yeah, exactly. Eugenio Suarez is early MVP.
He's injured.
Not by the time it comes back. They were saying he was supposed to be back by game one, and I'm hopeful that they weren't lying to me. I don't think they would have.
Oh, and you're living in a different reality.
I do. I really miss baseball a lot. It's which is so weird.
Don't show emotion often, but that was a real sigh. I've seen that before. No, I couldn't agree with you more. I wish, with the starving for content right now, I would love to have a game every day to watch. That'd be amazing.
It'd be amazing. I don't see why they can't just play with no fans. Nobody's ever touched anybody in baseball other than a home plate thing. And then when the Reds and the Pirates play.
That'd be tough. Sandy Alomar Jr., or Roberto Alomar. You can't spit in the ump's face. You know what I mean? Not this day and age. You can't do that then, and you really can't do that now.
It's frowned upon. And Amir Garrett can't fight the entire Pittsburgh Pirates team.
I love that. That was a highlight for me last year. I think we were in Colorado. We were in Telluride, or where did we? We spent the night in Telluride when that happened. I watched that fight over and over again on my phone, sitting outside. I must have watched it like 10 times.
Yeah, I do remember watching that when I was on the road. Was it Telluride?
Yeah, we were, because we were in that. Remember, we got the last room in the hotel, and the dude was like, "It's small," and he was like, "Literally, the beds are next to the walls." You remember that?
Yeah.
And I mean, it's a dope hotel. It was a sick, like, lodge type hotel, but the room was super small.
That was a crazy trip.
Oh, it's a crazy trip.
Telluride was wild. Telluride was type of town you could settle down in, but I think after a month of owning property, you're like, all right, I know everybody. What is different about this place?
Yeah, I'd want to. That's a snowbird type situation. I'd like to spend the summer up there.
Second home.
Winter down here. Yeah.
Second home.
Yeah.
Surrounded by the most 14ers in the world.
A beautiful town. My favorite mountain town so far.
That was crazy, yeah.
And we got to wake up. We woke up to it, which was nice. We drove in at night and woke up in Telluride, which is always an interesting experience.
And we did a hike. I feel like I'd been there. I feel like I've lived there before. You ever feel like that?
Yes. Or that you could spend the rest of your life there. That's a cool town.
You ever get, speaking of living these things before, you ever get hardcore deja vu?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That's weird, right?
Well, when it's really intense, you're like, I've definitely been here before. You walk into a place and you're like, this has happened.
You know what's coming up next?
Yeah. And then that guy walks by and you're like, dude, yeah, that's exactly what I thought was going to happen.
What is that?
Strange feeling.
Come on. That's simulation, dude. That's a simulation.
Semi-life.
Dude, once I got that stimmy check, I've been semi-life.
That's stimulus. I just got that. No, I get my stimmy tomorrow.
What are you doing with it?
I'm going to buy a bike.
Is that real?
Not the whole, I'm not going to spend the entire thing, but yeah, I'm definitely going to buy a bike.
Get it. Do you know what you should do? You know what the thing to do right now is buy things like Craigslist things, or like things that people would be, kind of selling on their own, because I feel like they're way cheaper now. Like if you bought a car right now, great time to buy a car.
Good time to buy a car. Yeah, I'm good. That's the one thing I thought I'm just going to research and buy a bike.
100%.
Yeah, get out there.
Get yourself a fixie, dude.
No, I want to do like a road / mountain bike hybrid, because on the that way, riding on gravel, you wouldn't be worried about having the road tires. So
get yourself.
I've put some thought into it.
Get the fixie, dude.
Get a fixie. I think I'm fixed on doing that. Like,
okay.
Fixed. it won't fix the situation.
Bike life is great. How many bikes have you had stolen from out of your grasp?
Oh God.
Phoenix is a tough
It's
town.
got to be over 5. I'd say like 8 bikes stolen in my 13 years in Phoenix. Some of them, I'm not going to lie, it could have been probably prevented had I, um, you know,
Dude,
um,
a good law.
locked properly or not left it there for that a certain amount of time. But I've absolutely just had the bike straight up stolen from, you know what I mean? Like I
Oh, yeah.
locked it up completely properly, did it, went and
Totally.
checked on it, and then just gone.
Wire cutters. The yeah, I've been around you when you've had bikes stolen. And then
You've also had bikes stolen as well. I think it's a Phoenix experience.
I had one front tire stolen. Um and that was demoralizing because I had just gotten off the bus.
Hmm.
And you're just sitting there after getting off a bus, just trying to bike home, and you've got to walk home. Oh no, actually, I didn't walk home. I had to take the bike. The front tire was stolen, so I had to take the bike and wheelie it. That was one of my toughest ones.
Yeah, that'd be like you meet a girl on Saturday and she sees you on Sunday wheeling your bike home.
Yeah, exactly. You know what? We're done.
I think I just saw you on McDowell.
Yeah,
You wheeling? Yeah, you did see
nah,
me. You saw me. Saw me at my lowest. That's where
yeah,
you saw me.
yeah, you finally saw me for who I am.
Yeah.
I was bike life for a while. I was biking to remember I was biking to work. My first office job, I was biking to work from
Michael Bluth. Yeah, I remember.
in a suit, in not in a full suit, but like definitely.
You looked like Michael Bluth. I mean, exactly like Michael Bluth when he's riding his 60 through California. Yeah.
You caught me a couple times.
Very funny.
And this was Phoenix summers, a lot of it.
Yeah, but you know, it builds character. All that stuff
Oh yeah,
built to something.
big character builder. I remember biking. I would bike to work and then in a pantsuit and a button up, and then I would bike home, and it was 4:30 in Phoenix. If anybody has been to Phoenix at 4:30 in like July, it's like hell. And I would hit the green belt, and I would take my button down off, and I would just
Good God.
because dude, it was so hot,
wide open,
shirtless with slacks on.
Oh my God,
Imagine
that's insane.
Imagine seeing that. But also,
I've seen you. I mean, yeah. Well, you've never really had any shame in your game when it comes to loosening or taking your shirt off. I've definitely, we've talked about this in the past. I've certainly driven down some roads and been driving past some places where I was like, is that my brother running with his shirt off in the, like, wow, this is a crazy flex.
so, yeah, you wish there was more flex, but
Yeah, that's what I think everybody's wishing there was a different option.
you know, you got to get your tan somehow.
Yeah, you don't have to be on the move. That's actually better to tan, you know, in a still place on a chair, in the privacy of one's home.
The science is still out on that. We don't know for sure.
Yeah,
No shame.
I'm working on my tan, bud. That's for sure. Tan is the plan in my backyard.
Yeah, you guys have crazy sun right now. I was just there. We were hanging last weekend, and it was already 85 degrees or something.
Yeah, it's gonna be 100 in like in 5 days.
That's tough. That is
Hundreds. I don't want to see 100. I'm fine with 85.
Dude, imagine being quarantined and the AC breaks.
Why are you even putting that out there? You know
I mean,
what
that happens. You guys have a new one. You should be good.
Yeah.
That's newer from the I got eyes on it the other day. But the that's a real thing that happens to a lot.
Oh, 100%. Yeah. I've been
We're having a heat wave.
I've been in situations where the AC wasn't working. It's crazy.
Oh,
Summertime, that's so real.
I remember there was a girl that she was pursuing me back in it was like the end of college or something, right? Back when we lived on Hancock. 22-year-old Mike. I was
I remember that guy.
probably had no front tire on my bike, and I
No
just
shirt on.
no shirt on, and just learned how to drink. And this girl was giving me the full court press, and we ended up hooking up. But the night we ended up hooking up, we go back to our friend's house, Adam Fleck, if you remember.
I do, the flex.
And his AC was 100% not working. Like that 3-day stretch or whatever that we ended up going back to his spot and hooking up with this girl, and I was like, and it is July.
Oh God.
I don't know.
She had no idea what she was in for. She was probably already a little disappointed in herself anyway. So
I always think about that.
Unsettling.
Probably
Damn
one of
it.
the more disappointing things for
Yeah.
not only I was thinking about how disappointed I was, and then I was like, if I was disappointed, she never texted me again, and this is bad.
That was a hot one last night. Hope you had fun.
Oh,
I know I did.
I would love to see my text post hookup.
God.
It probably was like we should do that again with AC winky face
Oh Jesus.
or something desperate.
Yeah, let's turn up the temp one more time next weekend.
Yeah. That was a hot one. Let's do a cool one.
You were really hot last night.
Yeah.
And the sex was pretty good too. It's like, what?
I just texted her new additions, cool it now. She never responded.
She didn't get the reference.
But yeah, I remember that. That was uncomfortable for all parties involved. It didn't even, it was like I remember like 5 to 10 minutes in, and we're both just like, let's just.
This is insane. I'm sliding off the bed.
Oh no, it was like in an abandoned room too, because it was like
oh God.
It was before Jevin.
This young girl probably stopped drinking, moved back to Utah. That was it for her. You know what I mean? She's like, all right, vacation's over.
She's a Mormon now.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was tough. Those are tough summers. You're creeping up on it. That's the crazy thing is like Arizona's amazing, but then May 1st hits.
I think you lived here a long time. I think what I'm hoping is happening is we are getting a heat wave, and there's normally one more weekend where it dips back down and you get some good weather.
Oh yeah.
And then it dies. But I'm hoping that it's not just ratcheting up into the hundreds and staying there. Normally it'll do this and you get a little nervous, and then it comes back down a little bit, and then it comes back and does not leave.
You better hope.
At least we got the pool and chilling. So
oh yeah.
It is what it is. Yeah.
If you didn't have
a good situation for that. I think we're gonna get another thing I'm gonna get with the stimmy for sure. Pool basketball.
Oh yeah, that's a good move.
Set up yes, I'm excited for that.
Yeah, those actually aren't as well. If you want to get a good one though,
I want to get a good one. Yeah, I don't want the one floating in the water. I want to get a good one.
So there's, as of now, based on my math, you've got $200 left in the stimmy check.
No, I was looking at bikes. More like around like $400 for a bike.
Yeah.
And then I don't know how much a pool basketball set costs, but I'm gonna look into it.
I've looked into it. It's a couple hundred, but it's also probably worth it.
Yeah, some quarantine. Holy shit, it's gonna be the best thing ever.
Yeah, but yeah, you work on the baby hook and all that stuff
for the pool. Yeah, it doesn't translate to ground game as well, but I'm a beast in the pool.
Oh yeah, it's all about body positioning in the pool.
Yep.
Speaking of hooping, if you watched that the Jordan doc came out.
I did. That was awesome.
Pretty amazing stuff.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be like every day. I didn't know that it was going to be every Sunday. I thought they were just going to release it. Remember, like I think it was the OJ thing. They did it in 5 parts, but it was 5 days in a row.
Did they really? I don't remember.
Yeah,
that was
or in 4 parts, but it was 4 days in a row. That was
the greatest documentary of all time.
Comparable to the excitement I have for this. I remember being super excited for that.
Yeah,
and it lived up to it. This is living up to it so far as well.
Oh yeah, I mean, the thing is, like, you have MJ and Pippen, you have everybody involved talking. That's like thing, except for Jerry Krause. And then you know who? Somebody made a great comparison. I didn't know that Jerry Krause was he's the person that they formed the character of Danny DeVito in Space Jam on.
Space Jam makes perfect sense now. Yeah.
I don't know if that's actually accurate, but somebody did a side by side, and I was like, that's not inaccurate.
Right.
That's pretty close. He's had a tough look. And then it's funny when they're dogging a dude and then they show pictures of the dude while they're dogging him, and you're like,
yeah, the pictures they choose to show. Yeah.
This dude looks like a mastiff, like an ugly mastiff.
Yeah. It is funny when they, like, I remember when Tiger was going, or anybody going through a scandal, the photo that they choose of them, like just like looking off, like kind of all weird. And so they're not using the smiley photo anymore. That photo's gone
no.
away. You know what I mean? It's the
Mhm.
it's the stern face. It's the look of a man who would do this type of thing.
It's crazy stuff. But that Bulls era is crazy because you were born in '84. You were born when Jordan entered the league.
Correct. Let me tell a quick. This is my memory of falling in love with basketball, and then Jordan especially. I
Michael
liked
Jordan,
the NBA. Michael Jordan, yeah.
sure.
Um, I liked the NBA, but growing up in Cincinnati, like we did, it was more. I loved the Bearcats. I remember finding out about Bob Huggins and then being like, it felt like, and then you'd see him on TV, and that to me was like, dude, that they're like talking about our city on TV. This is
Oh yeah.
crazy. And then
Final Four,
'92, we
man.
make a Final Four run,
Oh yeah.
um, and that was my first. I remember being in love with basketball then when we made that full run, and then Corie Blount was drafted by the Chicago Bulls, and the Bulls came to Cincinnati on an exhibition game.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
this was I can't remember whatever Corie Blount's rookie year was, 93 or 94.
'93 probably.
Um,
Oh no.
and
Might have been '94
I can't remember
or
whatever his
'95.
rookie year was. He came. The Bulls came to Cincinnati to play an exhibition game. I believe
Yeah.
you were there as well. Were we both
100%.
there? Yeah.
I do remember that.
And Jordan didn't play,
Right.
and didn't even come to Cincinnati. And I remember being like, and I couldn't understand that. I was like, "What do you mean? We're going to see the Bulls." I'm thinking we're definitely going to see Michael Jordan.
Yeah.
And that's when I was like, I want to see Michael Jordan. I want to watch this guy play. And then he went and played basketball. But then to watch him come baseball, to watch him then come back, that was an incredible sports memory. First memories. I was like, this guy's bigger than the world.
Oh yeah. First of all, shout out to Corie Blount for
Big time.
not
Corie
really
Blount.
developing into a good NBA player. He had a couple of years where he would get in boards though. I think he was on the Lakers for a little bit there.
I don't know. He was tall. He was tall as fuck.
He was a 10 and 10 guy for the Bears.
Yeah, for
It
sure.
was amazing. But yeah, I was just so I'm also reading or not reading. This is how lazy I am during the quarantine. I'm doing Audible books. Couldn't have more time to read. Still listening.
Right.
But it's good for the walks. You know, I'm walking and I'm reading pretty much.
It's the only time you do listen.
Is during walks, long walks.
Audible books.
And I'm doing this the Jordan book called Playing for Keeps, and it's pretty much what I just realized watching the first couple episodes was it's like the same exact thing there. They bounce from in the book they bounce from the 98 team back to like Jordan's youth, and then they'll go like to like 97 and then back. It's kind of interesting. But they were just talking about the chapter that I just listened to. They're now talking about when they needed a power forward and they drafted Corie Blount, and the only thing they said in the book was, and he underperformed. And they're like, it's like the most dismissive Corie Blount sentence in the book. They have one sentence about him, and it's just like,
yeah, I don't remember his NBA career at all.
He did, well, the Bulls drafted him to replace. They needed Horace Grant was their power forward, and then Horace Grant
Big shoes to fill. Went to Orlando, yeah.
Yeah, and then he went to Orlando, and then he was the reason that they lost to the Magic in the '94 season when Jordan came back.
Yeah, they beat him.
Not the '94 season, whatever that season that Jordan came back, and they were trying to figure out the power forward role for a long time, and yeah, Corie Blount wasn't the dude.
He wasn't your guy.
He was not the
He was
guy.
smoking blunts.
I do remember that game though, going to see them. B.J. Armstrong was a fixture on the team.
100%.
Scottie Pippen, and yeah, that was interesting. And I do remember it being a big thing that Michael Jordan wasn't there and having to get it explained kind of.
Well, I never got to see him. I just remember being like, oh my God, we're going to see Michael Jordan like live and in person.
Yeah.
Never got to see him live and in person.
Have you, we've seen some good basketball games though. Like, well, the nice thing is we lived in Phoenix during the Suns. Probably one of the most
Kobe a bunch of times.
One of the most exciting basketball teams I've ever seen, and we got to see them all the time. That Suns team is crazy.
7 seconds or less.
Yeah, it's nuts. But we got to see the Spurs Suns in
Yeah.
what you could consider probably the height of the Spurs, like, which was a great team too. Um, and then I know we got to see the Blazers, and then we saw Kobe and them a couple times. I think
Kobe
one
time.
time from the Verve Lounge,
Yeah.
which is a tough look. I snuck down one time during the Western Conference Finals. I got one single ticket and went and saw um, Kobe and the Suns play. That was crazy. I was right behind the Lakers bench too. So we've gotten to see some cool people, but MJ would have been
Never got to see Michael. Yeah.
something else. My earliest memories of understanding NBA basketball was it was the Suns series. I was probably only like 7, 8 years old then, and I remember that whoever won the night before, and then the next night they played again, and I was like, "What?" I didn't understand that at all. I was like, "Did they
What, series
lost
basketball?
yesterday?" Yeah, it was the first time I had to be explained what a series was. And I'm sure Dad was pissed when he had to explain it. How about interrupting our father to ask
Not a
any?
patient man. Not a patient man. No, he didn't have. I mean, and not even 1 ounce of patience. Where you could just ask one question and be like, "What?" Like, I don't. My bad. I thought
Hey,
that was. I'm only 9.
hey, Dad, what's going on? Why don't you shut the fuck up
Why don't
and
you pay attention?
wait for the?
I'm asking you because I don't know. It's the first time I've ever watched this. But that was, yeah. So 94. I'm 10 years old. You're 8 years old, and then he's playing baseball and making movies, and it's not. I remember it's not making sense to me. I'm like, what do you
Yeah,
mean? He's like, why is he playing baseball? Is he
yeah,
gonna go play for the White Sox tomorrow? And then you understand minor leagues and spring training. I'm like, what do you mean he's playing for the White Sox? I don't see him on the field. Where's he at?
yeah.
But and then he comes back, and it's like out of a movie. It's like I remember the "I'm back" press conference,
I
and
remember
just
Jake Bloom down the street owned a 45 jersey,
great jersey to wear.
which didn't age well, but also it's kind of fresh now.
Well, I just watched the 30 for 30 This Magic Moment, and great part in that doc when they talk about Horace Grant saying that's not Michael. He's one that's 45. That's not 23. And the next day he came out in the 23.
Oh,
The
damn.
next game.
Yeah.
And they were like, well, he can't do that. It's like, no, yeah, he's Michael Jordan. He
He,
can do whatever the fuck he wants.
they paid him those 2 years he was in baseball. They paid him $4 million
Yeah.
each year. And then Jerry Reinsdorf actually he said, so he had they talk in that documentary how Pippen had like one of the best team contracts ever, right? Like it was like a steal. They pretty much,
Signed him in 91, went all the way through 98. Yeah.
if you look at Michael Jordan's first contract though, he actually only really got paid the last 2 times. He was criminally underpaid, and
Right.
then because back then it was actually more common to take the long-term deals, and then also they didn't really get like the TV money didn't start coming into like 94 or something like that. So Jordan was actually wildly underpaid, and then he got 2 contracts. One was 30 million, and the next one was 36 million.
Right.
And Jerry Reinsdorf only did that because he was like, honestly, I owe you for all these other years anyway. Like
Right.
that was me.
Well, he couldn't do that with 2 people. He's a, you know, he
I
couldn't
know,
also pay Scotty.
and it's clear one of them made them more money than the other, but without the other, they probably wouldn't have succeeded as much. It's interesting though, but yeah, basketball back then it is wild, that perspective. I actually don't think I was as obsessed with Michael Jordan as most people in that generation were, but I think it's also to your point. What like, dude, we were watching Cincinnati Bearcats basketball
Yeah.
quite a lot, and it was pretty good. I didn't need to watch the NBA
Every game. Yeah.
Yeah, we were like at like a lot
Well,
of
I wasn't watching. I remember NBA on NBC on the weekends. I always watched the showcase games.
yeah.
It wasn't as accessible also back then. Of course, the Bulls were always on because you wanted to see Jordan.
Well,
And the
it's not like
finals,
we were going to be a Pacers fans or something.
no, we didn't have an NBA team. So it was
Yeah,
like the Bearcats were our thing. I do remember by the end of it, almost I was rooting for the Jazz to win. I was
I was
like,
an
I was
underdog.
just tired of it. I was like, and I loved Malone and Stockton, and but then he just proves to you he's the fucking best, and you're like, hey,
Yeah,
can't deny it.
I remember just liking the Sonics jerseys. I do remember
Jazz had great jerseys too.
their early memories, but that the Suns thing, I just remember being like, oh, the Suns seem cool. I didn't know. I wasn't ever as enamored with the Michael Jordan thing.
Oh,
Uh,
I was, but by the end, I was just over. They're like the Patriots. It was like I'm tired of seeing the Bulls
right.
just win, win, win. But I loved watching the Bulls. They were incredible.
Yeah. No. Well, I guess my more appreciation is just like learning about him now and stuff because you just realize, or not now, but just since all these books and videos and stuff like that, they always come out. But you just understand he was a different cat.
Yeah,
He was like the one thing in this book they keep talking about is he just was it was uncomfortable how competitive he was. It's like you couldn't ping pong. If you lost a ping pong game, he's gonna play you until he beats you in ping pong.
yeah.
Like on golf things, he would like one time he was golfing with his buddies and they're playing per hole and he ended up making this amazing shot. It was like downhill and he said $100 if I get it closest to the hole, and he ends up getting it right next to the hole. And then the next day, the dude asks him, "How the hell did you make that?" And he said, "I picked up and threw it." Like he would cheat. He would cheat to
But
win.
he couldn't lose. Yeah,
Couldn't lose. He just could not lose, and he hated it. And it's just a different drive. That's why, like, I think when you watch this, it sometimes kind of shuts down some of the Jordan LeBron thing is always a weird conversation because when you watch something like this on Jordan and having watched LeBron's entire career like we have, it's like he's just not that dude. Not to say he's less talented. He's just as talented, if not potentially even more. He doesn't have that like I don't know. There's just a
I think
cutthroat.
he gained it. He gained it as it went on. He wasn't born with it, but he did gain that mentality later in his career for sure. I mean,
Yeah,
the ultimate Jordan move. You know, when he greenlit this documentary,
when
LeBron won
LeBron
the.
won his third or something,
Yeah,
right?
That's when he decided. He's like,
Yeah,
yeah,
which is
well, watch this.
you got to remind these motherfuckers. Well, it's just different, and their stories are so wildly different. Like they're just almost unfair to even compare because
Yeah, I've never really tried to. I mean, I don't know. Sure, you get in those debates, but I never. It was if you know what you're talking about, you would know that they're two different players, two different
right.
guys. Don't compare him. Jordan's he's not going to be Jordan. He just isn't. But he's still incredible on his own.
Yeah, 100%. And Jordan didn't make his varsity basketball team his freshman year in high school. By the time LeBron was a freshman in high school, the world knew who he was.
A cover of Sports Illustrated.
Completely different thing.
Right.
And
Different
actually,
stories.
and
Yeah.
the counter argument would be that it's actually harder to do what
To live
LeBron,
up to it.
yeah,
Yes.
to like be
The
like
chosen one at 18.
it's crazy.
Now go
Whereas
prove it. Yeah.
Jordan still had the chip on his shoulder, where LeBron actually had to create a chip on his shoulder.
What is that? Jordan's Hall of Fame speech. He's still fucking mad.
Yeah, right.
The entire time he's just being like, "See, I fucking told you."
Oh well, that was the second motivation during the last three was that people just kept telling. He always his theme in all the press conferences was that he's like, I know you guys think I'm too old and too washed up.
Yeah.
He like made these narratives up in his head. Crazy dude.
Incredible guy, for sure. I mean, I want to be like Mike. If I
Yeah,
could be like Mike, it's crazy.
it's crazy.
I believe I can fly.
I believe.
Rest in peace, R. Kelly.
Yeah, I mean he had a good run. Have you been diving into any R. Kelly stuff? How deep into the quarantine are we gonna go until we can watch or listen to R. Kelly songs again?
How deep? I don't know if that's ever going to be. I mean, you can listen to him. I'm not going to lie. I've listened to him since it's gone on. I'm not going to I'm not blasting it in the car so someone else can hear it.
I was just
But
listening.
you have not listened to R. Kelly since all this is going down?
Just listen to That's That Shit with Snoop Dogg from the Blue Carpet Treatment. Oh, sick.
That's that. Oh, yeah.
That was a real heat rock. Well, here's another question. How deep into this quarantine until it's acceptable to watch Kevin Spacey movies again? Can we revisit these?
Maybe don't put it on Instagram, but yeah.
I've watched almost everything. I can't. You tell me I can't watch Usual Suspects?
American Beauty.
He's not even the lead in Usual. So he's in an ensemble cast. Maybe that's the only acceptable one. But Pay It Forward, he's a little too prominent. But Helen Hunt kind of takes that. American Beauty's a little. It doesn't age as well with him. American Beauty. He beat. That was when he beat Denzel for the Oscar.
in
I think it was
what's it called in Hurricane? No, well, that's bullshit.
bullshit.
I mean, yeah, those people don't know what they're talking about.
Bullshit. But speaking of Denzel, I've watched Equalizer 1 and 2 during the
I've not seen 2. I've seen 1. 1 was really good. I'll check it out. I've been watching. I'm in Better Call Saul.
Yeah.
I've been I saw season 1 and 2. Forgot about season 2. So rewatched season 2. Just finished season 3. Good stuff. About to start season 4. So I'm in the middle. I mean, I at least got something going on. A little something to look forward to.
You finished season 3?
I did.
Don't kick
Crazy.
Don't kick that lantern, dog. What's he doing?
I think he wanted to kick that lantern.
Yeah, it was intentional. Yeah, it was that's a good show with Odenkirk. Sometimes that show pisses me off with how slow it is, but it is good. Like you know who I really like it is the chick.
Yeah,
Kim.
she's really good. Yeah,
right,
Kim Wexler.
She's amazing, and then Odenkirk's great. But
Yeah.
and there's some sneaky stuff too. Like you know what I'm impressed with is how they made. I like how they just made the oldest dude in the show somehow younger.
A little bit younger. Yeah, he still looks old as fuck.
He still looks so.
Well, at least he's just not, in a wheelchair and that. At least he's moving around.
Oh well, no, I'm talking about Mike.
Hector?
Mike.
Oh, Mike. Well, I mean, I don't know. Hector's pretty fucking old. Yeah, Mike looks super old. Mike looks older than he did. It's crazy old.
But they're like, this dude's 10 years younger. Also, what do they ever reference what year that show is?
I don't think so.
Doesn't it? It seems like 92, maybe.
Or like 90s,
90s,
early 2000s.
Could be early 2000s. Yeah, because based on I guess you.
Well, some of the suits, and then you see like because Kim drives it's got to be 2000s because she drives a Mitsubishi Eclipse.
Oh, who could forget? Hot girl car. Mitsubishi.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. If you you're rolling up on a red light and it's a red Eclipse, you're like, what's up? You're playing some clips. You're like, grinding.
How about the dudes? Didn't you have a buddy that had a Toyota Celica? I was like, dude, you are a guy.
I know 2 dudes who had Toyota Celicas, and everybody's like, what?
Those are definitely hot chick cars.
Yeah.
So funny. But wealth was so exorbitant in Sycamore that you could get any car you wanted.
Right. Traded in, all that stuff.
But yeah, that's good stuff. Better Call Saul. I did. I'm still
hot girl car. That is, and then like crazy girl cars like a Pontiac Sunfire. You're like, what's going on in here? This girl's nuts. You know what I mean? I guarantee you her car is dirty.
Yeah.
But man, is it going to be a wild night?
She's got more water bottles on her floor than any teenage boy.
Right. She's ripping cigs.
Yeah.
Flicking out the window.
That's the type of chick that has had an abortion but also kept one.
Oh God.
Yeah. She lives.
It's true. Hairdresser.
She lives on the wrong side of Fields Erdel.
She's in the FEP. She drives them all over the place. She lives behind that pizza tower. Snatch tent nose.
That's so funny. Yeah, those are interesting. The cars back in the day. What was I can't even remember. And then all the dudes had just their secondhand Jeeps. Their older.
Yeah, or like a Honda Accord. You know what I mean? Like that black
Accord
Honda Accord.
Fast.
Accord was easy. A Civic, but the real flex was Accord. If you could get the Accord, things were going by your Accord at that point. Everybody had a Civic. All the girls had like a white Honda Civic 16, Tracy 16. I'm thinking of one person in particular. Oh yeah.
And then I remember there was one chick that she was cute, had a Toyota Matrix or something like that. Those little hatchbacks.
Oh yeah.
Those were a flex because you can get in the back of those things.
And then everybody wanted or like your car guys, like a Snips would have like, you had a dude who would flex in the like Integra, you know what I mean? The actual fast car, and they could fix it up and make it lower it and all that shit. And I'm like, I don't know, just pick me up. Yeah, can we get high?
Yeah, are you gonna pick me up or not? What if Zach Lay had something like? Yeah.
Oh, dude, he had a Honda Accord hatchback. That was a tough car. But it worked.
but then
back then it's like if you have a car, you have a
had,
like just let's get a car.
dude,
Pick me up.
we had
Corie Middleton had a like this. God, I can't remember the name of the car, but it was a little blue convertible. I mean, it was a ridiculous car,
like a Miata.
but it was the drop top. You know what I'm saying? It was still like summertime. You're still in the convertible.
Oh yeah,
it was awesome.
Remember your boy Bach used to have the bubble.
That car was ridiculous. Yeah.
There's some ugly cars in the early 2000s.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, we would show up with our mother's stolen Saturn.
Yeah, I got to get this back.
Yeah. I actually have to.
I can drive, but I can only drive for like 2 hours because this is not my car.
Oh, that's so funny. I remember, I did some weird stuff in the back of that Saturn one time.
Good
Sorry,
Lord.
Mom. And then, but think about the logistics of that. One of the more uncomfortable things.
Yeah, I'm 6'3". That's not a possibility for me. In the back of a Saturn, I might as well go try and do it on Saturn.
And then
I remember you left a bag of weed in the Saturn, and I got in the car. I think we both got in the car, and right away I'm like, "There's a bag of weed in here. This is a." It was so stinky too, and Mom's driving.
Like,
and she's like,
"A skunk?"
And she's like, "Oh God, somebody must have hit a skunk." And we're like, "Yeah, definitely a skunk for sure." And she's like, "Why is it following us?" You know what I mean?
We're
no idea.
all the way down Hopewell. It still smells like
we must be hitting multiple skunks. Yeah.
Oh man, I remember one time I came in with a thing of weed, and Lily, our dog, sniffed the hell out of it.
Oh man!
Immediately in my cargo shorts. And remember, just cargo shorts were reckless because you just would forget what was in the pockets of them.
Oh yeah, you're walking around with a bowl and a bag. Yeah, guitar pick.
That was in there. To be
thong.
Fair. And and then she found that, and I remember having to explain to her that it was my friend Nipples, which is such a high school thing, having a friend named Nipple, but also.
Why do you guys call him Nipple?
Honestly, I never even asked.
Yeah, that's how it goes. We have a friend out here, Beckham.
Not his name.
His real name is Peter. I forget his last name because I always thought it was Beckham. Come to find out that he's only called Beckham because one time he was watching. They were all at a house somewhere, and he was watching soccer. And the guys walked in the house. Go, "Oh, what are you, fucking David Beckham?"
Yeah,
it's just like just ribbing the guy, and then he was Beckham for the rest of his life.
That's how it all starts.
One nickname. Polly Pecos.
Polly Pecos. Johnny Jackets over here. He literally bought a new winter jacket and
looked good. It was a good looking jacket.
Polly Pecos over here.
Yeah, I got crucified for 3 weeks every time I wore I would wear what are you, Johnny Jackets? What are you, cold?
He's like, yeah, it is cold.
It's 30 degrees. I'm cold.
Oh, that was so nicknames are great. Yeah.
I just saw you, or it feels like I just saw you. You were just in Phoenix. You came out here to break it up a little bit. We hung out. I had some zipperitas. Yeah, we so I think every hangover like that starts with like, what did you drink? And if you told somebody that you drank a 32-ounce zipperita, they'd be like, well, yeah, that's going to be the start to a really long evening. And we had yeah, wild.
Well, we had to get those wings, some of the better wings you can get. And then I was up there. I remember I made the physical order. I was physically in the location, which was out of control popping. It was like so busy. Like
people need their zips.
I mean, there's nobody sitting or anything like that, but it was like, there's like a crazy line for zips. And I keep seeing people walk out with these huge jugs. And our mutual friend from CDO, Addie, had told me that they had zipperitas.
She would know that. That's awesome.
32-ounce zipper dues. In for sale to go.
That zipper ripper, dude. Let's go.
And so the crazy thing about zipperitas, obviously, is though when you order them, they have a little disclaimer on the menu that you can only get 3, right?
Right.
So
unless you know CJ, basically 32 ounces is like 4 zipperitas, though.
Yeah, because they're like 8-ounce hitters.
Yeah, they're breaking their own rules.
Yeah. They're giving you too much in one serving.
Yeah, you're like, as long as you do this in the safety of your own home, you should be all right. But they were wrong. We weren't all right at all.
Should have came with a disclaimer. So that, yeah, I come back with 4 huge big gulps of
Zipperita.
Zipperita
Chambord Zipperita too.
So yeah, that was how we started the night. Yeah, because I came back to just switch up the flow. It's crazy. So it was nice to come chill in Arizona, and then we said we would record a podcast, and then we got too drunk most of the nights.
It happened, yeah.
But and we got drunk enough to recreate a couple of Oasis pictures, actually.
Yeah, we did. The cover from Definitely Maybe, and then me and you took first of all one shot. So that is one picture. We literally stood like that and took the photograph. It ended up looking a lot like the original.
From What's the Story? Morning Glory, isn't that?
Yeah, from the inside, the inside sleeve there. We have the album here at the house. First of all, the amount of eye rolling that I imagine goes on when we post a picture of us as the Gallagher brothers always makes me laugh. But you need to be yourself, and that's what I want to be. I love the Gallagher brothers.
Wow. You need to be yourself. You can't be no one else. While we clearly mimic 2 others.
Yeah, somebody else, right? But I want to be me.
We literally played both of Oasis' first 2 albums
on vinyl,
and screamed them at a wildly uncomfortable level.
Felt good though. Felt alive.
But can we talk? But also, I wasn't even mad because you have neighbors that are pretty much creating a cult next door.
I don't know what's going on next door, but it's concerning.
So we were singing loud, but then I remember thinking about it. I was like, they were singing loud they kind of do late night too. It's like 10, 11 o'clock, and they'll have
right.
Yeah, I thought you guys were joking, and then we looked over the thing, and there was 15 people in a circle.
And there's no social distancing. Yeah, they're holding hands,
singing Kanye's last album. It's like
makes sense though, right?
It was nuts, dude.
If you've never been to, so our next door neighbors have this white van. It's a creepy. If you think about a creepy white van, it's the worst. It's such a weird.
Connected that, yeah,
So I always knew they were weird, but this just cements it.
Yeah, it's a white van. Speaking of vans, I used to whip a van in high school.
I used to push a van.
I used to push a van and have a tape deck connected to an aux cord that was then connected to a CD player because the CD player and the whip didn't work. And we used to just bump shit. We used to bump the Game's first album in
documentary
a purple van. But they've got a creepy van next door, and it's definitely a cult.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on next door. And they got these 2 or 3 dogs that are just like the yappiest, like little, like a really, really annoying bark. And when you're in quarantine, it's every day. You don't notice it when you're just living your life or whatever. You don't really, because you're just going out, you're doing your thing. You're like, whatever, they're my neighbors. But it's every day. You're like, they're a little fucking weird. What's going on over there? They got to think the same thing our way, though. Like, was that both? Was that the first and second Oasis album at 3 a.m? I
think they played Cast No Shadow twice. And I heard Weeping on the second go round.
That was a good
one. As some might say, went really hard. I remember.
Yeah. I've been standing at the station.
But that was a good weekend. Good Zipperita weekend.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna stay away from the Zipperitas for a while. I actually told a few people, so I think that's what's been going on is a little pay it forward. I told a few people the next night, like, wow, they are really getting it going over at Zips. If you guys have not, and someone was like, I haven't had focaccia in forever. I'm doing that.
It's a good,
And then that person was late for work, I'm sure, the next day.
Oh yeah, that's the crazy thing is the Zips. It was nice to go back because we have a lot of food in Phoenix. Shout out to the Phoenix culinary scene because one of the sleeper food scenes in America. And,
absolutely, really good food scene out here.
But we had we had Grimaldi's and then we had DeFalco's. Come on, I had chicken parm.
Ooh, and that was good. I forgot about that.
Reheated it after having left it in my car for an hour in the Arizona sun, and it still held up. Yeah.
Good
I've been chancing a lot of food. I ate some 2-day-old sushi last night too.
What?
I mean, you just kind of take chances.
I think when people say take chances, that's not the chances that they're talking about. You have
What,
to, know that.
what,
Eat 3-day-old sushi.
what is the sushi cutoff? I think it's a day.
Sushi should be fresh. You should eat sushi day of, even next day. Yeah, that's fine. 2 days. Come on. What are you doing?
Definitely
You trying to get
48
sick?
hours removed. I didn't do it was just sashimi.
Raw fish. 2 days later is not the move.
You know what is the worst is the rice it's different. The rice is dry.
Yeah.
It was tough. I regret my actions, but in
Not gonna live in the past.
but then we were hitting all those good spots in Phoenix and Zips. I will say Zips as a chain restaurant. There's probably like 10 or 15 of them. That's some of the better food you can get for a chain restaurant.
Yeah, those wings are awesome.
Bar food though, but great bar food.
Different type of girl. The girl who knows, like, you need to start questioning things. It's like if she knows like what the specials are, or you know what I mean? Or she's like, no, that's Thursdays. The focaccias are $7 on Thursdays.
The day to
Fridays
day. Yeah.
is and you're like, what? How often are you at Zips?
Yeah.
If
Actually,
she knows CJ at
yeah.
Zips,
Those are
you need
$6
to,
skewers
there's a
over there.
red flag. Yeah.
We used to go to that Zips so much on Miller and Camelback that they changed how they ordered Jägermeister.
Oh God, those were bad days. That was when we were like 22, 23.
I was like, yeah, because I remember
I was like 23. That was when I first moved here, early 20s.
and I was trying to keep up with you guys. And you
Good
guys
God.
are both 6'3". You and Johnny White, Juanito Blanquito. And yeah, you guys are huge alcoholics. And I'm like just learning how to drink and lower body fat percentage back then. I think I was sitting around, I was in the teens back then, body fat index. That's since changed, but yeah, I thought I could handle Jägermeister. It was Jägermeister in a shot.
Well, everybody thinks they can handle Jägermeister. We were all going through the same thing. Yeah, we were just taller. No one can handle Jägermeister.
No one.
We shouldn't have been drinking Jägermeister. We had a Jägermeister machine. It has nothing to do with height or weight. Nobody should be drinking Jägermeister at the rate we were drinking. We had to throw the machine out. Do you remember?
Yeah.
We won a Jägermeister where you could put the frozen thing in there upside down. And one morning, I don't know who threw it out, but I think everybody had a huge sigh of relief. Someone said, I threw that thing in the alley and nobody go get it. We're leaving that in the past.
It was not even that cool. I do remember.
It wasn't cool at all, dude.
Was
Pat lost a tooth. It had to stop.
Pat looked like Lloyd Christmas that morning. And then, oh man. Yeah, those are tough days. I think that's what Chris Cornell was talking about.
Fell on fell on black days.
Yeah, I think that's what that song's about, actually.
That's exactly it. Drinking in your youth.
Yeah, it's tough stuff. But either way, we made it out. Made it out of Arizona quarantine alive, back in it. And then 420. Did you do anything for 420? We already did a couple weed stories, but
not really. No.
Didn't do anything. No. I didn't even smoke.
I'm not a smoker. I was such a pothead when I mean, not even pot. I was I smoked so much when I was younger that I guess at one point I was like, I'm inherently lazy anyways, but I was like, I can't add this to it. I'm not going to be able to do anything.
Yeah.
So I had to cut that out. But you gave me the THC, that liquid. I use it from time to time.
Yeah,
I might throw it on something.
Dude, it's the gummy bear juice.
It's wild.
Is that little that thing will set you back.
Yeah, that's what I find is like now it just I can't move. I get like a weed hangover. It's not good.
Yeah. I didn't do too much, but I've been smoking steady since 15 or so. But
15 years old.
Sure. I don't smoke as much out here anymore, but yeah, we used to get so high. I do miss the first couple of years of smoking though. The geek out sessions.
Yeah.
That's what you missed.
Geeking is insane.
The first couple of years when you would stay up till 420 just to smoke on 420.
Oh God.
So unnecessary.
Yeah.
But the geek out. Yeah, I'll never forget watching the Tally episode of South Park the first time.
And just uncontrollably laughing. Yeah.
Laughing laughing so much you thought you might call the hospital.
You have a funny geek
Yeah.
too. When you're geeking, it is funny. You're one of those there's few people who when they start laughing, you start. It's like it's just
It's such a hard
contagious laugh. Yeah.
geek
Mick
set.
Grass.
Did Bobby Hunter, RIP, had one
Oh
of
yeah.
the best geek outs ever. we, we watched, yeah, dude. That just this tally episode of South Park always hits different, and Zoolander too. But either way, we can wrap it up.
Yeah.
We'll be in touch soon. Shout out to obviously the Bush family behind me, and we haven't mentioned that, but been
Shout
doing
out to the
the
Grand
other.
Canyon behind me. There we go.
Yeah, I think we're all inspired by different stuff, and I think that's important. And I'm also reading the other Audible book I'm reading is Family Secrets. We can kind of dive into that maybe next time, but don't forget where it all started.
You need to be yourself, JFK. Did the picture come X'd out or you X'd that out yourself?
I took a Sharpie to it just for theatrics. But where was HW on the 22nd of November? But we'll talk a little bit more maybe about that, and then other things. But yeah, be good, John. Love you, buddy.
Yeah, man. Love you too. Peace up.
A-Town down. Peace.